my name is Sheba and you just watched the commercial. So I'm going to be breaking down basically things that I did, my planning, editing, filming, the setup and everything, how I was able to achieve that video. So the first thing is planning to edit. So I'm just going to so I wanted to show you guys this is my whole planning, everything is a lot to understand, but this is just showing you that I planned every single scene, with what transition, how I wanted to enter into the next scene, each step of the way. I actually first of all sat down to plan everything out. I know that the first stop is going to be this transition, the next stop is going to be this transition. You can see the first one says top in camera to reveal outfits. So that was the first, second scene that you saw. But this was my guide. So when I was going to start filming, I had this guide with me, and which was what I used to guide myself through. Now, one thing to know is that whenever you script a video or anything like that, when you actually go to film, right, things could change. That's why you see that the first thing in the video is actually not what the first thing is here, is the second thing. So after the whole filming process, filming through based on the guide that I have, right, let me just show you quickly what my setup looked like. So my setup was just cutting at the background. I had my DIY lights and tripod in front. I had a stool-like situation going on, and I draped the white clothes over it, and I sat down on it to film. So I filmed each shot. I also had my laptop as a monitor, so I could see what I was doing because I was in the back camera of the phone. So I was able to see what I was doing through the monitor, which is why sometimes in the video you notice me looking at the monitor, which is actually not correct. I'm actually not that used to filming you get. So basically over time you get used to it, you get my point. So that's what my setup was. So after planning and filming, then now it's going into editing. So for editing, you basically have planned out your scene, and most times you already know the music you're going to use for video, because in planning you plan out each scene, you plan out the outfits for each scene, you plan out the music that you want to use, the kind of feel you want the video to give, all of that stuff is what's going to go into the planning. So when you're editing, you're going to basically refer to all those things you planned, and some things will definitely change the same way some things change when you were filming. So first of all, when you're editing, the first thing to do is actually place the music in the timeline. So when you have placed the music in the timeline, then you listen to the music from beginning to, let's say you want the video to be 2 minutes, you want the video to be 1 minute, that period, right? You can listen to it from beginning to end to find out which section of the video or 1 minute of video do you want to use. And then you know that when you're editing to the beat is what makes the video, will I say, seamless. It just flows. It makes the video feel like the video and the audio was merged together from scratch. That's how it was. You get, it won't be like upside down, you understand? There's this kind of feeling you get when the beat hits the next scene. Do you understand? So basically what I did was I cut the video into where the beat was. So what I do is actually look at the timeline. If I zoom into the timeline, I can see where the audio spikes up and goes down and spikes up and goes down. So I know where the beat actually starts and where it ends. So there was a video I watched one time where they said it's actually more professional if the change in scene is actually a little bit, let's say 2 frames before the beat actually changes or after the beat actually changes, so that it seems more natural and less roboticized, if you get what I mean. So for each part, I already listed down the editing styles that I wanted to use. So here I wrote use accents, speed ramp, and I also wrote stop motion. So those were the 3 that I had in mind, right? So in case you don't know, this is what an accent looks like, this is what speed ramping looks like, and this is what stop motion looks like. So basically, accent is when you have like graphic elements like going across movement of your body. So let's say I wave my hand this way and then I have graphic elements following my hand that way. It's usually done in After Effects, but because my system could not, I don't know why it could not handle the After Effects, so that was why I didn't use Accents, right? So that's why I said some things do change in your editing. So what I did was I replaced accents with overlay text. Okay, so I did two versions of the video. I did one that didn't have text on it, and I did one that had text on it. Okay, so I wanted the one with text on it to be what I was going to use to run ads, because like at least if I'm running ads, people don't know like what's up, you get, they don't know the firm, they don't know the business, they don't know anything like that. So, but for just like my own purpose, I wanted the video without the text. So I just kind of used text to like cover up for the accent. Then speed ramp is basically when your video starts slow, at a point it goes fast and then goes back slow. I did use speed ramp, but I didn't use it the way it's supposed to be used. I kind of like, you know, when you do when like is like a Nigerian slang, which means like you don't go the straight way, the normal way of doing things, like you just corner your way out, right? That was what I did. So I basically just cut the section that I wanted to be faster and I made it faster, and then it goes back slower. But for it to have that smooth transition of a speed ramp, you actually need to go and edit the speed of the video and actually like drag the timeline, and then like it's actually a lot complicated. That's why I didn't do it, because it's complicated. So stop motion is actually my favorite. Stop motion is when you basically line up a series of images, right, to play as a video. So basically each image will stay on the timeline for like, let's say 2 frames or 3 frames or less than a second. Okay, I've done a lot of speed ramps before. I can show you guys. These are some of the speed ramps that I've done. So basically in this case, what I did was, instead of using pictures, I used the video. So another thing is transitions. Transitions can come in various forms. Like you can actually have a digital transition, like transition packs on your system where like, you know, the video frame swipes right, or a flare is the transition. You know, there are different transitions that you can use, but there is the transition that you make when you're actually shooting the video. Okay, those, I can't remember the name, but those kind of transitions are different from what you have when you have like already shot the video and just want to transition between scenes. This one, you actually do the transition in real life when you're filming. Okay, so things like snapping your finger, wiping your face, doing this, or you can like maybe pull your wig, pull your shirt. But basically what you want to do is, when you're ending a particular scene in filming and you snap your finger, you want to start the next scene and snap your finger as well. So that way it acts as a transition when you are editing. So basically you cut in the middle of the action of snapping your finger in the first one and the second one, and then merge it together. So when you play it at once, it just plays, and like you think they actually did magic and like the clothes changed, like you get. That's actually how people have been doing transitions on TikTok. It's like very, very common. It's very easy to do. So you can actually do it anyway. It has been existing for a long time. Like people have been doing it for a long time. When you see photographers like transition, maybe they are filming a car and like they film into a part of the car and everything is black. Then they move out again and you see another scene. That's a transition. Or when you're filming and then you film and then the camera goes into the water, and when it comes out of the water is in another scene. Basically those are like real life transitions, and photographers and videographers have been using that for so many years. But yeah, you can use it in any of your videos you want. That's basically what I did. So I was using like human transitions to transition through scenes. So as I said earlier, I used text. I bought a text layer, a text pack. It's called motion graphics actually. Now the reason why I bought is because it's very difficult to make. Like it's not really that hard, like, but it's time consuming. I used to make my own text overlays and like my own motion graphics or text motion graphics. I used to make them myself. But over time, because of you need speed in your work and like you just need things to be faster, because it's not as if I'm making text animations as a job or as an occupation. I actually just use it in what I'm doing. So I'd rather just buy one that exists that looks nice. So I actually bought a pack of 100. So if you guys want to buy as well, I'll leave the link in the description for you to check it out. Okay, so lastly is color grading. So after you're finished planning, you've filmed it, you've edited, you've used all the principles of editing you want to use, whether speed ramp, stop motion, you want to use transitions, whatever you've used every single thing. You are now done. What you want to do is color grade, because like when you film a video from a camera, either a real camera like a professional camera or a phone, there's a sort of color science that comes with it. So on a professional camera, you have something called raw images or raw files. They're actually named .raw, raw files. Those files come with like literally no color. It looks like there's no color in it. Like it looks very dry and like bland. So what you want to do is color grade to add that flash of color into the video and make the skin pop, make the colors everywhere pop. It's basically just like editing your pictures after you take pictures, and then like you use Lightroom to edit the picture. It's basically the same thing. So basically, color grading is a situation where you make the colors in the video to pop and you just edit it the way you want, whether you want it moody, you want it oversaturated, you want it black and white, however you want it to be. That's where all that magic is done. So I'm not a professional in color grading, but I do have an idea of color grading, which is why I'm going to be linking some videos down below for you guys to check out color grading and learn for yourself. Some videos that I have watched in the past that has helped me to like color grade in my videos. Okay, I also color grade my YouTube videos because like it's a camera raw, like the image coming from the camera is raw and unedited. Okay, so that's basically it for the steps and the process. So after that, I export in H.64, I think. Anyway, you see it on the screen, and I also sometimes export in high bit rate or medium bit rate depending on what the size of the file says. Sometimes it might be high bit rate and it's saying 2 gig. And I'm like, where am I supposed to send 2 gig file to somebody? Do you get? So I like then use medium bit rate, and then I now use encoder to like decode it to reduce file size more. Do you understand? So I can like have it like mobile and post anywhere I want to get. So that's like everything, and that's how I edited the video. That's how the video came about. So if you guys like the video, if you guys like the commercial and this tutorial, this brief tutorial, it's actually not a tutorial of anything. I'm not teaching you guys how to use Premiere Pro or anything like that. I'm just telling you guys what I did, how I was able to come up with a video. Do you understand? So if you guys like the tutorial in quotes and the commercial, give this video a like, guys, and subscribe to my channel. I make videos that help content creators and creative entrepreneurs as a whole. I also like put out fun stuff, so if you like my content, subscribe. I would really appreciate it a lot. Yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.